thousands of years ago, they were Apollo, Zeus, Ares. Now they are Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and the other heroes and villains of DC and Marvel Comics. Join us every week as we discuss the legendary stories, characters, concepts, and other parts of comics as we examine the modern pantheon of heroes. Let's get heroic. Welcome to Under Two Capes, the podcast for the comic book fan. Welcome to Under Two Capes. I am Jared.
And I'm Lad.
And we are here with Mitch. Mitch, welcome back to Under Two Capes. Now, have any of you ever seen a really great? Have any of you guys ever seen a really bad superhero movie? Because I know I have.
So that's what I've suffered through an occasional bad one. You know?
So that's what we're talking about, dear listeners. We are talking about the worst superhero movies of all time. Now, the way this is going to work is I pulled up two lists, but first we're going to give our personal worsts, and then we'll compare it to the list that I pulled up from CNET and I guess Rotten Tomatoes, and then we'll see if we agree with them. All right, so who wants to go first?
I'll go first since I'm the guest. I figure I'll just get it out of the way.
Yeah.
I'll get the novice opinions out of the way first. First two. And again, last time we had me on to talk about Judge Dredd, so I got to give one of the worst superhero movies ever made. If you count Judge Dredd as a superhero, his Sylvester Stallone incarnation, hot dumpster. Hot dumpster fire. It is on fire. The dumpster's on fire near a gas station. It's bad. It gets worse. We could go into why it's bad later, but I'm just saying, just going to preface it. That is one of them. The second one, and I know everyone's going to say this, the Wolverine Origins movie.
Yes.
Where Deadpool. Yeah, okay. We know the real travesty for me is that the game I had rented before I saw the movie, and the game's really good.
The game is badass.
Exactly. It really nails like violent, like Wolverine tearing people up. And it's such a shame because the game is so good and the movie's so bad. It's like, really, guys, you finally got a good superhero game and this is the movie you adapt? You know,
Lad, the X-Men Origins game, Lad, is basically like the movie Logan, except a game in which it is gory as hell.
Yeah, like you get finishers. It's like
you can cut people's arms off. When you take damage, Wolverine is actually taking damage, like to the point where you can see a skeleton and you see his skin grow back.
Really? That sounds cool.
It's a really good game.
And you can wear like all the classic costumes and stuff. It's super cool.
Nice.
Back when you could rent video games, I used to rent that. From Hollywood videos. So back in the dark times, the olden days, it was great. So if you
the dark times. All right, so what's number three?
Oh, God.
Go ahead, Lad.
I mean, again, superhero movies, everything that's like pre Iron Man, where they got the formula of like what makes a very successful and like market, like wide appeal, like market movie, you could say is like bad, but like Blade's good, so we're not gonna Blade's good. We like Blade. The later Blades, okay. I think is it 2 or 3 that has the giant CGI like blood tornado? I think it's maybe 3. It's bad. It's really bad. Even for CG at the time, it's not good. That sticks in my mind if I had to give it like a 3. The movie itself, campy, not the worst, but that blood tornado and the CG really just kind of, it's like, okay guys, what were you, who thought this was okay? It's a ship. Like, who thought that was good?
Yeah.
And
Hollywood did.
Yeah, well, quality control, I hardly knew her. Again, last time I was on, we touched on the previous Hulk movie, not the new Marvel Hulk movie, the one before. When I saw that as a younger man, and I'm like, I've read some of the Hulk. Like, what is this? It wasn't. I mean, as a young man, it was bad. As like an adult now, I can kind of appreciate it. But as like a young man, I'm like, what is this? Hulk doesn't even smash. Like, he barely smashes.
He just stands there staring at a rock.
He doesn't rip apart a car and use it as fists. Like, I played the Hulk PS2 game. Like, that's what you're supposed to do, you know? He doesn't smash things, and he just stands there and he fights the dogs. It is very
I had the Iron Man game that came out previously, so I had the Hulkbuster suit. That was basically Tony Stark screaming in the suit whenever he was Hulk. So I was like, yes, on my camera.
Oh, hey, we all have camera issues tonight. That's great. Hey,
exactly.
It's equal opportunity. There we go. But yeah, so I'm going to stick with those 4, 3, 4, and I will tag off to Lad. Your camera works, so we're going to tag to you.
Yeah, go Lad. All right.
I'm just using my iPhone. You guys can't go wrong with iPhone right now. All right. But
Is your phone charged?
It's not. It's not really at all.
What?
And honestly, my phone is probably gonna die if I don't plug it in like in the next 5
Plug
minutes.
it in.
So okay, that's the downside. Okay, that's where you can go wrong with iPhone is if you don't plug it in. All right, I'm plugged in now, so everyone's okay. Everyone's happy.
All
and
right,
we're gonna go with
5 worst superhero movies. Go.
Worst superhero movies. Man. Okay, so this is kind of difficult because I really started watching superhero movies when the MCU started. Like Avengers was the first time I went to a theater to go see a Marvel movie because I was only like 12 at the time or something like that. So I'm trying to think of like the ones I've seen, which ones I would rate low. I mean, Suicide Squad. I'm gonna put Suicide Squad somewhere on the list. The Suicide Squad movie,
The theatrical Suicide Squad.
Or like makes me want to commit Suicide Squad. No one's ever made that joke.
The thing is, look, the Suicide Squad, the trailers for the movie seemed cool. They hyped it up a lot. The Heathen song was pretty fun to listen to. Everyone else I knew was talking about it. And then when you go to see the movie itself, it was a letdown. And then Heathens was just in the credits only.
Because Warner Brothers interfered with the movie.
Studio meddling.
Well, that's never happened beforehand. It turned out that the original version of the movie was way better. Hint, hint, hint.
Yeah. Man, that was a bit disappointing. I did like some of the action and stuff in it. It was kind of cool. The characters were cool, but just like as a movie, it wasn't really a good movie, I'd say. Exactly. Cool characters, not a good movie. Let's see. What would be my number 2? My next one on my list. I had to like kind of dig deep because I've only really seen MCU or some of like the DC movies. So it's really hard to pick
those.
Yeah. So I think I would put maybe. Oh man, this is really difficult now. Because I really enjoyed the X-Men movies as well. Those are pretty good movies for the most part. The ones I saw,
except for 3.
Except for 3.
You know, the plastic gun thing was a neat idea, right?
That was a good idea.
Credit where credit's due. There were some interesting ideas in that movie. Okay.
Here's what you have to understand with the X-Men movies. They screwed up the Phoenix story twice.
Well, at least they're consistent.
That's true.
There you go.
That's good. We know what to expect. I'd say, okay, if I had to say like one I didn't like as much, I want to put Captain America Civil War on this list, not because it's a bad movie, but because I do have an issue with it. I can't say bad movies because I don't know. I haven't seen as many movies as you guys have, so I can't say like the ones I thought were horrible. But I want to mention Civil War because it was a really awesome movie, but it was really more of Avengers 2.5.
That's true.
Civil War.
And they labeled it as Captain America.
Right. And it did have a focus on Captain America and his story and, with Bucky and everything, and resolved plot threads. But I felt like all the Iron Man, all the other characters did distract from what could have been a really cool Captain America 3 movie. So that is like my one thing I would say I didn't like about it. But the movie, just as, Marvel Civil War, like one of the best movies.
It should have been just that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Labeling as Captain America tips off who's going to win, too.
Right.
Iron Man wins Captain America Civil War.
Yeah, I know, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't Avengers. I'm watching this movie in theaters and I'm like, this is a lot of characters for a Captain America movie.
Right. It's a little bit much. At
they
least
run Spider-Man.
Yeah. But so that was a little bit, I think. What I want to mention is I feel like I don't like BVS that much. Batman versus Superman. Like I enjoyed
Have you
it.
seen the Ultimate Edition?
But that's what I say. I haven't seen the full version of the movie. I haven't seen the Ultimate one, so I may
watch
change
that.
my mind.
Because that's what people say. That's what people say. They
Okay.
only see the theatrical, and then when they see the Ultimate, they're like, "This is way better."
Okay, so I think that would, because I kind of liked BVS, but I felt really confused by it. So I think if I watched the Ultimate version,
they explain a lot of the
like
confusion. Let me put it this way: it's essentially like Joss Whedon Justice League to Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's that much of a shift in quality.
So, Lad, actually, I have a question. If you were going to, and I know we're probably getting a little off topic just for a second.
That's fine. Go ahead.
If you were going to design a Captain America movie that was like think about it this way, in the production line of like Marvel movies, because before Infinity War, but like and Civil War was after Ultron, was it? Or was it before?
Yeah, it was after Ultron.
Okay, so you're post Ultron, before Infinity War. What would you put as that movie then? Do you have like an idea? If you just top of your head spitball.
That's a good question.
Anything. Give me anything.
Okay, so off the top of my head, because we have the loose thread of Bucky around, and we already did, the whole Shield was evil and stuff like that. So that is a tough question to ask, because like what you really need Cap fighting against the government, kind of, because he was at first, you do need that storyline, that progression where in the first
that's really important.
Cap was fighting against the Nazis, clear evil, right? And then the second movie, he was fighting the Secret Service that he was supposed to be the good guys. So good guys that turn out to be evil, like you have to remember, careful who you trust, stuff like that. But then you do need that progression of like doing what's right in the face of even when the good guys say what you're doing is wrong. Where Civil War, the U.S. government was saying you guys have to sign these papers and shut down your operations, and then
unless
he said,
you want to be government agents.
he didn't want to be a government agent. So I feel like that is a really good progression Civil War did, but I feel like it would need to be something where he's opposing the government, but not like on the Civil War level.
I have an idea.
Okay, Jared, you go and then I go, because I have an idea too.
Yeah, sure. So my idea would be like, it's the prequel to Civil War. In other words, you make Civil War a separate Avengers movie, and this is the build up to it. And then this is him going on the run. And the only other Avengers character we bring in is Iron Man, because like the government brings in Iron Man because they know the one person that they can call up, because remember, the Winter Soldier is someone else right now. The one person they can call up who knows Captain America pretty well is Iron Man. So they go, we want you to track this guy down and bring him in alive if possible.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Hear me out here then. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So related to both of those, actually, you'd have the On the Run movie and part of Civil War, or just have it like the prelude, or you just kind of like, here's what you do. You work in the death of Captain America, and you work in hear me out. And you work in Captain America is totally a Hydra agent, guys. Hear me out. You have Cap in this big like explosion. Shield, they fall into the ocean. Cap dies. You have Cap. Cap's fine. What are you talking about? Real Captain America is doing one thing. Fake Captain America, who is a Hydra agent or a clone or like a body double, is doing the other thing. And you have like the evil one doing certain things, and you have the other one trying to undo what he's doing or like stop him. And you do the death of Captain America. You could have Captain America kill his clone body double. You could have that whole thing like, oh my God, Captain America's dead. Or like you even better, you open with that. You do like the in media res sort of thing. Captain America's walking up the steps, bang, he falls over dead. Then you pan back and it's Captain America.
Yeah.
And because you don't see the shooter until like near the end of the movie, and you realize it's Cap, the real Cap, taking out the Hydra Cap, and he's kind of like that questionable ethics thing, like just should Captain America kill people? He never kills anyone, but he's killing his clone or like a copy.
Oh, he definitely kills people in the MCU.
Yeah, exactly. Crippled for life. They're just sleeping. They're just sleeping on the ground. They're just broken. They're just sleeping. They went night night. But yeah, so you do that where Cap's like kills this guy who's his clone, but then all of a sudden, it's like, I'm the real Captain America, and he has to like do this whole like speech in front of everyone. You can do that like conflict with Iron Man, where Iron Man's like, I don't know if you're the real Cap or the fake one now that you've said all this, because I watched Cap die, and it's really traumatic for Tony because he watches his like friend die, and this whole thing. And I think that'd be a really great like middle point right before
That
Infinity
works.
War.
That honestly,
I like that.
Mitch, that was really good. I like that. That was so good. That really could be a movie.
I'd go see that. You kidding me?
That was really impressive, honestly. I think would have fixed everything for me. And then just do Civil War as the next like Avengers movie.
Well, yeah,
by the way,
you tie in, so Cap dies, fake Cap dies, and that's where you not end it so much, but you do the rest of the movie where real Captain America is like the masked shooter on the run. And like Iron Man's chasing him down because he thinks, oh my god, you just killed. Like Cap may have made some some not questionable decisions recently, but he's still like Tony Stark's best friend. So Tony Stark's like hunting him to the end of the earth, and you can have a scene where like Tony Stark's in his like little like his man guy like,
mansion
all around him of like satellite images, and he's just like he is going like practically going insane. He's like looking for him. He's every feed, every angle, using all of his resources because he really thinks his best friend just got assassinated. And he's like, and then he finds him, finally confronts him, like slams through the roof of the building. He's in like full gear, like him and maybe War Machine, or he's in the War Machine army or armor, or like do you want to do one of the really like niche suits that don't get a lot of play to like do like a little bit of fan service, like one specific suit. Smashes through, and it's like, I like, tell me why I shouldn't kill you, and he pulls off the guy's mask, and it's Cap.
Yeah, it's Steve. Yeah, he could be in the Iron Patriot armor.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's in the Iron Patriot, grabs him by the throat. He's like, give me a reason I shouldn't kill you right now.
That's how it works. Let me put it this way: if they had done the Secret Empire storyline like that, it would have been way better.
Well, yeah, and again, it lets you work from that base of like, okay, now there's going to be civil war because Tony's like, what's going on? I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know if you're real. I don't know if you're a clone. He like lets him go in like pure shock, and it's cliche. The I'm so shocked I'm letting you go. It's cliche. But it's Hollywood. What do you expect? They could get away with it. If anyone's gonna do it, they're gonna go ahead. He flies off. Iron Patriot flies off. The real Steve Rogers disappears into like a sewer or something with like Black Widow and the whole. And they go, we got to get ready for whatever happens, and then you build in a civil war again. So yeah, there we go.
That works. I like that.
That's really impressive, honestly. That's good.
All right. So, do you want to continue, or are you done?
I think I'll just call it there. I mean, I don't really know them as well. You guys are more the experts on bad movies, but I enjoyed that discussion.
Now, I'm going to build down. I'm going to go like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, building up. 5 is Birds of Prey.
Oh.
People saw that? You actually suffered through that?
I watched it because, I mean, live action Black Canary. I'm a big Black Canary fan, but my issue was this movie, among others, was okay. So Harley Quinn was great, but second off, so Black Canary is the only member of this team that has metahuman powers. They only used it once at the end of the movie, and then she just faints. I'm like, the hell? I know. She's a screamer. I'm like, oh, come on, dude. Plus the fact here's the thing. So the Cassandra Cain character, they completely butchered that character. She's supposed to be this badass, like hand-to-hand Batman level, hand-to-hand combat specialist, but she just hides. Every time there's a fight, she just hides. I'm like, what? So that's Birds of Prey. Number 4 is Captain Marvel. Yeah, Lad and I saw that. My problem with that is that, first off, Carol Danvers, as she exists now and what they're basing that movie off, is a terrible character. I'm going to go on the record of saying that. She's terrible, man-hating character. And that whole movie is designed to bash dudes, which, not okay. And then they were building up so much, like Nick Fury got his eye taken out by like maybe a laser or being tortured. Nope, a cat scratches it out.
Isn't it like an alien cat or something?
Yeah, but still, a cat.
Yeah, that's pretty dumb. That's pretty dumb.
I'm like, what? Who thought this was a good idea?
Hooray for
3.
Okay, wait a second. I need to counter that. I need to. Your judge, hand me the floor for 2 minutes. I'll return the time when I'm completed.
Go ahead.
Okay. I actually enjoyed Captain Marvel as a movie. I don't really know the difference between the original Miss Marvel she used to be and now Captain Marvel. I just enjoy her as a superhero.
She had
And
boobies before.
I think she didn't actually put down men really that much. I mean, maybe a little bit sometimes, but she was
all the time, both subtly and actively.
She didn't put down Nick Fury at all.
Yeah, she did.
Anyways, continue.
But go ahead.
And then my next point was I actually liked some of the prequel stuff they did where they said that she was the first Avenger, or
I hated that.
She was
where the Avengers team is named after her. I was like, stop trying to make Captain Marvel happen.
She was her ship or whatever her title was, the Avenger, and so that's when Nick Fury named it. I kind of like that, some of the prequel concept with the Tesseract. But my favorite part was definitely the Nick Fury losing his eye, because that was a big moment in Captain America, the Winter Soldier, when he said, last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye. And then
I thought maybe someone betrayed him.
They didn't ever have to show it to us. It could have just been always like kind of ambiguous. It really not needed. But the fact that they actually showed it to us, and something so funny like a space cat scratches his eye out because he trusts it, and then he just lies to everyone, says it was a big dramatic event that happened. I think that's really funny.
I don't hate that. But and I get both sides of that.
Left it. I just think that they should have just left it ambiguous, because it's cooler that way.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get both sides, because it's such a subversion of expectations. Ha 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 ha. That is, it's a cat, and that's funny, and I get that. And I think if they had put that in like another movie, probably. And that's my personal. And again, Captain Marvel, I remember her from like Ultimate Event or Ultimate Alliance, like
she was good there,
and she was great. And
she was Ms. Marvel back then, by the way.
Exactly. And I will say the cursed phrase. I don't really hate Brie Larson as like her. I mean, she doesn't. She definitely is lacking in some of the charming aspects, perhaps, of Miss Marvel did. But and again, I think actresses and actors get work at the scripts that they're given. I think it's a symptom of the times. More it could have been
plus.
It's not bad in theory. I don't like her being the starting of the Avengers. I don't like a lot of the aspects of the movie, but it could have like an origin story for Captain Marvel. It could have been good, if for no other reason than they put it in a different spot in the production order of their universe.
Yeah,
they put it before Infinity War, because then people might actually care.
Yeah. And my problem with it is that it's part of a problem I have with Marvel is that they keep pushing Captain Marvel. In the comics, they call her Earth's mightiest hero. And I'm like, wait a second, you got Thor, you got Captain America. They keep trying to make her as like the best. Oh, the Marvel universe is named after her. And I'm like, sure.
Stop trying to make it happen, Marvel. It's not happening.
It ain't happening. And then here's how they were bashing men. Nick Fury was useless. He could have been completely absent from the movie, and it would have no effect on the plot. Second off, there's this flashback scene where they have these chair force pilots, basically making sexually innuendo jokes, but basically Joss Whedon jokes, hint, hint, at Carol and her wing girl. I guess that's the phrase. So I'm like, okay, I see what you're trying to do, guys.
What do you call him, a harpy because it's a wing woman?
Okay, whatever. So anyway, I think that's two. Was that number 3?
I think that was the second point you mentioned that you didn't like that.
Number 3, Black Panther.
Oh, okay.
Now, I just want to be clear. I liked T'Challa. I liked Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther. I liked the character. I liked, even to a certain degree, the world. My problem with it is the villain sucked, and honestly, the script and the story were complete crap. The visuals were fantastic. Like, I loved where the suit forms on him. I think that's cool.
Right.
I felt some of the stunts were cool, but definitely, particularly when you get to the last battle of the movie and it looks like bad PS2 game graphics, I'm like, oh, come on, guys. Iron Man 1 had more realistic CGI.
I can feel that where you might not like the final act. I can definitely see where it might feel like a little too CGI-ish or a little strange looking. I can definitely see that.
Here's why. They have guys in a black suits fighting in a black environment. Typically,
hear me
in
out here.
VFX, you don't do that. Go ahead, Mitch.
Could they have put it in like a more vibrant environment? Say, I know I haven't, believe it or not, I actually skipped Captain Marvel and Black Panther, so hear me out here.
Good for you. They didn't have any effect on the plot.
That's exactly one of the many reasons I didn't see them. Besides my misogyny being legendary. Kidding. Kidding.
That's great.
No, could they not have put it like, I think back to a fantastic fight scene in like Pacific Rim where the giant robot is going to fight the giant monster in this big neon lit like cityscape. It's dark, it's rainy, and it's at night, and both the robot and the creature are dark armors or dark skin tones in case
dark-ish.
The lizardy thing, and the kaiju, excuse me. So could they not have done something similar with like the final act of Black Panther, where they had it in like a neon lit sort of like contrast area? Or
it's daytime outside. Have the battle outside.
True. Yeah, again,
that would have worked so
let
much better.
Let the audience see what's happening.
Like this way, the only reason why Iron Man worked is because he's wearing red and gold armor.
That's true.
If you watch the clip, it actually they did go into like an underground cave thing with like speeding trains on like monorails with a little glowing light. So sometimes it actually was a bit hard to see some of the final fight. I will admit that.
Yeah, I was like, and plus the villain was just terrible. Not Michael B. Jordan. So sometimes he's a good actor. He was just given a crap script.
Yeah, I think you didn't like the fact that he was an American soldier who was trying to start a race war.
He was trying to start a race war. That's basically his whole thing. And I'm like, I get it. Okay. Now, cooler motivations would have been not the race war, just him taking over Wakanda and trying to isolate it. That would have been cooler because he's like, the world is not worthy of our relations or something like that. That would have been fine.
Like, but even more isolationist Wakanda. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Because if you notice in the movie, T'Challa was trying to like maybe branch out a little bit, but I'm just like, come on, guys. This is a plot I saw coming a mile away.
But I did like how T'Challa kind of could have, saw the evils that were done, and he could have like said, yeah, we should start a race war. We should, take other countries. But he actually said that, we need to, forgive, and we need to try to save the people that are lost, but not
which is
like
why
start to destroy anything. So I did like that about him.
Which is why I love T'Challa. He was fantastic. He was my favorite part of that movie. He was the only redeeming quality of that movie was because he was written pretty well. I'll give you that. Yes. Okay, so that's Black Panther. Oh, by the way, the only reason why Captain Marvel made the typical Marvel budget is because they falsely marketed it as required viewing for Endgame.
Well, of course, this is Marvel.
That's the only reason why.
Disney.
By the way, so so I only have like a minute left on this call, so I'm gonna end it now, and then we'll come back because I don't want it to all of a sudden end in the middle of my rant.
Okay, I need to get something to drink, boys. I'll be right back. Okay.
Right. So we will be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
And we're back. All right.
We now return to the Transformers.
Oh, jeez. You're gonna get us a copyright struck, lad.
As long as I get to be Soundwave, I'm cool.
All right. So I think I'm on 3. I think for
3 was Black Panther, so I think this is actually 4.
2. Okay, so my number 2 least favorite superhero movie is, let's see. I'm trying to think. What was my second one? Avengers 2. Because they wasted Ultron. So they could have done a badass Ultron story. Plus the fact they paired the Hulk and Black Widow. What?
I've seen those gifts.
Yeah, I'm like, what the heck is going on here, Feige? Like,
Ultron,
come on, bro.
A neat character. I just think they didn't know what to do. I think they needed a middle of the road, or midstream. Like they needed a middle movie that wouldn't change the world too much, but they wanted to like have stakes to get people in to see it because it's like the Avengers, like this is them at their peak capacity doing the Avenger thing.
Yeah.
But they didn't know who to pick or what to do. Ultron's cool. Everybody likes Ultron. He's a big robot. He's cool. And I think they just didn't really know how to use him.
So when I was in the bookstore a while back, this was about after the movie came out, I'd seen it. I pick up the Age of Ultron actual Marvel story and start flipping through it. I'm like, this is way better than the movie. Why don't you do this? I love when they title movies like the comic books, but it's nothing like the comic books. The only thing that's like the actual comic book is that Ultron shows up. That's it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I remember, I actually also want to add Ultron to my list. That was the one I did not really enjoy as much. Like, I mean, all the MCU is really good. So, I mean, it's still like, I think it's pretty good, but there were a lot of problems with it that I didn't like. And just like, you're right, Ultron was not the villain he could have been. Like, they tried to make him a little too funny, which, I mean, they could do a little bit of humor, but I felt like it took too much away from him when he was funny all the time. He could have been more interesting, I think, like also more fluid, you know, like he was a robot, but I feel like he could have done more like robotic parts moving and like maybe shifting into different forms or
kind of like the Transformers in Transformers 4, right?
Kind of like that, yeah, kind of like move around a little bit,
or
right?
Prey.
Cool.
Or 2017's Prey, the video game, where like you have a coffee cup that's like a nano like blob alien thing.
Yeah,
you could do like, oh, there we go. That's a great way. Ultron is nanites, right? You could have him take over instead of just like lifting the city onto it. He could just take, you know, the gray goo, the science fiction concept that like nanomachines will self-replicate to the point where they're just this gray blob that just absorbs all like organic matter in its path because it's nanomachines. They can break down organics. Ultron is like this gray goo. He can make himself into like himself as like the creature or like the robot, but he's like, why? I'm just going to absorb this entire town and everything in it and just make one big me. And it's like, how do you contain something that big that can just keep self-replicating like cells in a body? And instead of just, I'm going to lift the town into the air and then drop it and kill everyone, it's like, I'm just going to turn everyone into me, if that's okay.
Yeah,
like
that's
everyone's
what he
going
does.
to be. Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah, and it's a little bit more. Instead of stealing Iron Man's suits, he'll just like make it like they're just goo. You could do that proto Thanos thing.
No, but that's what he normally does in the comics. He actually turns people into Ultrons.
Man, I'm ahead of the game.
That's what he does. He like uses the nanites and they kind of like go into the person. They kind of like turn them into a robot. They take away their free will and stuff, right? That would have been like what you suggested is really good. And
like, come on, guys.
Good. Yeah.
Okay.
But
number one.
But I will say,
go ahead,
Mr. Speaker, please. I will say that I like the Hulk and Widow romance.
Oh, jeez.
I thought it was actually kind of funny and cool because they had a moment in the first movie, you know, where they talked with each other, you know, when he was in like the other country. And so they kind of, you know, had some interactions there, and they, you know,
everyone has interactions
because he was, well, still, and he was, you know, he was a hulking monster. And the second one, they kind of played it up where they had a bit of romance, and you know, but they at the end of the movie they did kill it off. They didn't.
No, I don't hate it. I don't hate that. I can see the appeal of that. You know, you got like again the two spectrums. People like their contrast. It's in art. It's in everything. You get it. You get the Hulk who's all muscle, Black Widow's all agile and like I'll punch you to death, but like on the like you know that sort of thing. Different fighting styles, different like ways of looking at the world. Like I can see how they could have made that like a real thing. So no, lad, I'm with you on that one. I like it. I don't mind that at all.
Particularly, here's why I don't like it. Because they had a better moment in Captain America: The Winter Soldier, where Captain America and Black Widow seem like they like each other. And I think that, speaking of contrast, that fits, in fact, I think a little better than Hulk, because Captain America is all about, okay, and they have this conversation, and he's like, and she's like, if our positions had been reversed, would you have trusted me to save you? And he would have said, yeah.
Okay, I get it. Again, that's
true.
I don't disagree.
I can definitely see why, and I did also enjoy the, you know, I thought they were cool, like a little bit of flirting in that movie, but I kind of, I like the idea of Hulk and Widow more because it's not Hulk and Widow, it's Bruce Banner and Widow. So I mean, obviously you think like, oh, Black Widow's like really attractive, super spy, and then Captain America, he's super strong, buff, morals, confident. So obviously, they look good together. But then Bruce Banner, he's like calm and nice, and he's like, he's not really so sure of himself. He tries to do the right thing, and he's like, fumbling around a bit, and he has this like dark side of him with this hulking monster he has to deal with. And so I feel like that has a bit more of like, it's harder to match it with Black Widow. And I think that's what makes it a little more exciting.
Here's the big key, and they address this in the Hulk standalone movie. They can never have relations because his heartbeat gets above a certain point. He starts to turn a little green around the gills. He can
find a way around that.
That's why Banner's always alone.
If they can fiat Hulk being smart and like also like the Banner Hulk thing in the end of like
that was dumb.
I mean, hey, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying if they can do that, they could have made that work.
I can definitely see why a lot of people didn't like the Bruce and Widow thing. I think most people don't
because it made no sense. There was no setup. It was just all of a sudden they're together.
It doesn't really make sense, but I liked it. I mean, I also like Raylo as a thing, so I'm a controversial person.
Well, here's how you know that Marvel agrees with me. And then that movie was the only time that relationship was ever talked about. They were like, now if we're done with that, that's done. Whedon, you suck.
That's true.
Speaking of Whedon, my number one worst favorite movie is Joss Whedon's Justice League.
Ooh.
Because he took my favorite superhero team and made a joke of them, i.e. the Flash falling in Wonder Woman's boobs, them making a crack about Lois Lane being thirsty, Superman's freaking lip,
the red Superman have a mustache.
Thus with the red sky for no apparent reason. And again, the fact that Cyborg says "booyah." Now you may think, but he says that in the cartoons. He's never said that in the comics. That was a Teen Titans thing. And Zack Snyder legit said, "My superheroes don't have catchphrases. That's dumb." And then the wrong music. Like I get what they were trying to do, but by playing the Batman '89 theme for Batman and the old Superman movie theme, but it didn't work for these particular characters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus the fact the dialogue was crap because like, oh, I believe in truth, but I'm also a big fan of justice. And I'm like, okay, Captain America, we get it.
Do you like him? Do you like the American way too?
I know. Well, again, that too. But it's but I particularly sealed it as my number one least favorite after seeing the Snyder cut because I was like,
yeah,
why did you just release this? Cut it down to 2 hours and just release this. Mitch, have you seen the Snyder cut?
I've seen parts of it. I haven't sat through the whole thing because I have limited time lately. But I will sit down and watch it eventually. Yeah.
It's so good.
Okay.
Particularly after watching the Whedon cut. To the point where people put on YouTube them burning their DVDs of the Whedon cut.
I'm sorry they bought it to begin with.
I will agree with Jared there, where I think we both thought it was okay when we first watched it.
At first.
But then we realized that it was really bad, and what Zack Snyder was talking about seemed so exciting. And then when it got confirmed as an actual movie they were going to do with like a $70 million budget to actually finish the movie he wanted to do it 4 years before.
And most likely the trilogy, the whole most likely more movies.
Yep. That was really, it got a lot of hype going. And when we watched it together, it was really good. I was impressed by it. It was so much better than the original. It was unique. It didn't feel like just an Avengers movie. I was impressed with it also. I think Jared and I both
It was a Justice League movie, not an Avengers movie. The other one was an Avengers movie, but it's essentially like Justice League if they were using the other person's skins in Fortnite. That's it.
Yeah.
It was the Avengers with Justice League skins. That's basically what it was. Where this one felt uniquely Justice League movie. Plus the fact it was too, if you're talking about it from a movie perspective, it was too overly saturated in terms of the editing. But you see, here's the thing. Once again, I left that movie. One more thing that was bad about it. Steppenwolf's design. He looked like just a dude. Where the one that was here looks alien.
That was a big problem.
And then the absence of freaking Darkseid.
Yeah.
So I walked out of that movie and I was like, well, it was pretty good because I was like, at least we got a Justice League movie. And then Snyder starts posting on Twitter, on Vero and everything, what was supposed to be in the movie, like he has little teaser images. And I'm like, why didn't we do this to begin with? Because
politics, studio politics and money.
Yeah, because the studio doesn't like money. Because
they're
now,
like
what's hilarious is that up until the Warner merger, they refused to admit that the Snyder Cut was a success. And then as soon as the merger hits, they're like, oh yeah, it was super lucrative. That's what I know. Eventually we'll get an announcement. By the way, guess what we're doing? Probably a fandom. We're going to actually make the other two movies. Guarantee you.
Fingers crossed for your sake then. I hope so.
I've had some I've had some false predictions in the future, but this one I'm very sure of. Eventually they'll say we're doing it.
You do these two right, and I'm gonna be asking you for lottery numbers, bud.
If this happens, because let me put it this way, and Zach said it right. What's more likely, that they'll just make two other movies, or they'll redo a movie that just came out with $70 million? What's more unlikely? The $70 million thing. When has this ever happened before?
True.
I'm like, even Lad and I have troubles actually wrapping our minds around the fact that we've seen the Snyder Cut.
Fair enough. You know, that is actually a compelling point. They truly probably will just continue things. They've already sunk so much money into it, and it was more successful than the original cut. It would be foolish of them to not continue it. You know?
Exactly.
All right, now we're committed to this now.
Particularly, what I think is going to happen eventually is that the Warner, once the Warner merger is full, they'll look at their popularity on Twitter and everything, and they'll say, okay, cancel the Black Superman movie. We're doing away with that.
I disagree. They're going to make that either way. But they might make him like the, what was the guy's name? He was like Steel Superman I'm talking about?
Shaq?
Yeah, whatever the guy's name was. They'll probably do that.
That would be better. If they redid it and said we're not doing or Calvin Ellis or Val Zod, or if they didn't do that and just decided I was going to do they're going to make him John Henry Irons, I'd be like, great, I'll go see a Steel movie. A live action Steel. You kidding me? That sounds awesome.
Yeah. To clarify, Jared is okay with having a black actor in a superhero movie. He just doesn't want Clark Kent to be replaced with
because I think it's
a black actor yet.
And by the way,
we have Henry Cavill.
I've checked YouTube. YouTube is filled with videos of black comic book fans saying we do not want a black Clark Kent. Give us other Vals, particularly since these characters exist.
Are they making a Static Shock movie, or do they just remake it? See, if they didn't, I think that could be really good if they do it right.
Me too.
Like, I remember the TV show; it was good. As like,
I was a little like the TV show.
It was like a year or two after I was into like Heroes as like a teenager or like young early teenager, so it was like a little past my area. But like I remember seeing it on TV, I'm like, this isn't bad.
Love it.
Like,
I like
if
they make
X-Men
it like the show, it'll be good.
Yeah, so
yes. If they make it half as good as that show, it'll be super good. I'm excited for that one. But the fact that they want to replace Superman, because let me put it this way.
Yeah.
Here's a better idea. Take Calvin Ellis, make a Calvin Ellis movie, because this is a guy modeled after Barack Obama, and he became basically President Superman of the United States.
Well, wouldn't
you want that to be a role model?
Yeah, wouldn't you know what? People like it better when you actually make new characters or their own characters.
Oh, yeah.
The audience isn't stupid like studios. I know Californians may struggle with this concept, but the rest of us realize that patronization, we know when you're just patronizing people.
Look what happened with New Warriors. Look what happened with Snowflake and Safe Space.
I want to sniff Grandpa's internet gas.
just do lines of it. But anyway,
Exactly.
but yeah, in fact, they did a poll. A poll came out that said that like 5% of the active comic book audience are on Twitter, are active on Twitter. So the audience that they're looking for does not go to these movies. Does not care.
Yeah,
Honestly, if it does come out, I think it's not going to do well. The Black Superman movie.
I think John Henry Irons would be great.
Yeah,
that would have been that if they like lean into that, that'd be great. That'd be actually a really good movie.
I would so go see a Steel movie. He freaking shows up in Superman and Lois.
That's what I mean. Like, there is characters that exist that you don't need to like race or gender swap, and it's just these studios are like, well, they don't trust their directors, they don't trust their audience. It's like they're afraid of like investing in anything that doesn't make money, and then they take a concept and they change it, and then it doesn't make them money, and they're like, why did this not make us money? It's like, well, you see, if you instead stop changing and you make it, it'll make money.
Yeah, exactly. So I remember there was some comic book writer made a comment that the reason why they race swap is because the other characters aren't popular enough to get an audience together. So we have to like take Superman and make him black. My counter to that is I would believe that if we had not had a universe built on Iron Man, because guess what? Iron Man was like one of the Avengers and Iron Man were the least popular Marvel characters before the MCU. They did Iron Man, and look at them. They're superstars now.
I mean, Demon in a Bottle was good though, even though they weren't super popular. Well, yeah. Demon in a Bottle is.
Well, I mean, Marvel repeatedly had to make statements that Iron Man was not a robot.
Wow.
I'm like, dudes. All right, so before I go on a larger rant, let's take a look at these lists. So I'm going to share my screen. All right. So, worst superhero movies of all time. Spoiler alert, this list starts off with Spider-Man 3.
Oh, that's fair.
I saw this in theaters. Emo Peter Parker was bad, but it wasn't what's the actor who plays the second reboot of Spider-Man? Not the
Andrew Garfield.
Not him, the one in between. Oh yeah, is that Andrew Garfield then with like yeah, okay. That sequel, like that Spider-Man 2, infinitely worse than this one. So let's not even, they're wrong. Like they're Electro. No.
Look at how they portrayed the symbiote in this one. Look at Venom in Spider-Man 3.
You're not wrong.
Particularly when we have a good Venom movie now.
Fair enough.
All right. X-Men The Last Stand, which is X-Men 3. Yes, it's basically the Phoenix Saga, which they screwed up the first time.
I'm the Juggernaut.
Yeah, I was like, oh, come on. Thor 1 I actually liked. Thor 1 I thought was pretty good.
Thor 1 was okay.
So I think Thor was one of the first real like memeable like Marvel movies because I thank you another, and he slams the cup into the ground. And it's like, I think this is, again, you can trace like what was popular and what was in the zeitgeist that you can like point to as like this was something that they realized you could make money off of this.
Right, that's a good point.
Iron Man 2, again, one that I would say was not bad, but it wasn't good, particularly after seeing Iron Man 1. I mean, Whiplash, they completely destroyed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he was like a dude with a goatee and electric whips.
Mm-hmm. All right, I am going to 100% go away from this list on this movie. I loved Watchmen.
Lad, have you seen Watchmen?
No, I haven't actually.
Okay.
I know about it though.
I recommend you watch it, and I recommend you read the comic book because the comic's different. I didn't hate it, but I have problems with it. But anytime Rorschach's on screen, it's great. Anytime Dr. Manhattan's on screen or Ozymandias is on screen, they're great. I wasn't thrilled about the Night Owl, Silk Spectre. I wasn't thrilled about them. They were okay. They moved the plot along in a way that I expected, so I'm used to it. But like seeing Ozymandias when he's like, "Hey, here is thing I am doing," without spoiling it for you. Here is the thing I am doing and why. And I'm like, that's actually really pretty intelligent, and you can tie it to the comic books. I'm like, okay, not bad. I get why people didn't like it. I still kind of like it.
Yeah. By the way, if you like the Watchmen characters like Rorschach, read Doomsday Clock. Man of Steel. Wholly disagree. I love Men of Steel. I'm going 100% vary from this list. This was pretty good because guess what? A Superman lands, and this is realistically what would happen. And people are like, well, Superman killed people. Where do you think he got his no-kill rule? Maybe he's able to appreciate his no-kill rule because he was forced to take a life, particularly one of another Kryptonian.
Okay, I could see that. Well, you've seen Man of Steel. What do you think?
I saw it. I thought it was kind of cool because it was the first DC thing I'd really seen in a while, and this was also around when I saw the Avengers or around that time.
2015 was this one.
Okay, yeah, so around that time, it was interesting. I felt it was kind of weird how it was dark, but I kind of thought it was real. Like Jared mentions, like everyone likes, the classic kind of campy Superman, but I felt like it did feel real. Like what would actually happen on Earth if like a space, all powerful being came, and I kind of did like it, like maybe eventually like a good origin.
Plus the fact there are so many people who hated the previous two Zack Snyder movies. I'm talking about BVS and Man of Steel. But after they saw his version of Justice League, they went back and watched it and go, "Oh my God, I got it now. It makes sense."
Okay.
Mitch touched on this one.
Again,
here's my problem with it. And then the Honest trailer perfectly described it. They're like, he's staring at a rock. They're like, stop staring at a rock. Punch something. They made Hulk too introspective.
Without to hear that in a sentence.
It's the Hulk. He's supposed to smash stuff. Jeez. At least what I liked about the Edward Norton one that's in the MCU, air quotes, is that they had Banner be the introspective one and the Hulk be, I'm going to smash stuff character. Yeah. Plus the fact it was just boring. And plus, and we mentioned this when we did the Neon Green Hulk episode, the comic book panels that were supposed to be scenes in the movie, it didn't work where it was being used.
Right.
Thor 2.
I like that.
I like this. Yeah, I like this. I'm going to disagree too.
I'm not saying I disagree with you guys, but I'm saying I saw this in theaters. I saw most of the MCU movies up until like Endgame in theaters. Mm-hmm. I don't remember anything about this movie.
That is a very good point.
That is like my only criticism is that it was completely forgettable. I had a box of Milk Duds, like I do whenever I go to the theater. Against my diet, I have a box of Milk Duds. And that's all I remember is, man, these Milk Duds stuck in my teeth. I didn't remember anything about the movie at all.
That is a very good point, though. I 100% agree.
But it wasn't horrible.
I don't really remember it ever existing. It is very forgettable.
You forget about it really easily.
It's inoffensive. That's the thing. It's not bad. It's just inoffensive.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Amazing Spider-Man 2, and Mitch talked about this. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of Jamie Foxx's Electro. I was like, oh, come on. I liked how they did the killing of Gwen Stacy, though. I liked that, but there wasn't. I hated the Green Goblin too. Hated what they did with the Green Goblin. How they made him an actual goblin, pretty much.
Goblins, I don't like them.
So
marrying goblins. I'm sorry,
something I want to point out is I've kind of been reading up into what Amazing Spider-Man 3 would have been about and some of their plans before it all got canceled. Because I definitely agree that this movie wasn't good, but I just enjoyed the Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. I kind of liked his movies.
Yeah, I like him more than Toby, but less than Tom Holland.
Man, but supposedly what they were talking about is that Norman Osborn was gonna survive his death and become the Green Goblin in a future Spider-Man movie for Amazing Spider-Man. That Harry wouldn't be the Goblin anymore for like Sinister Six and stuff. Norman was going to be. Even though we saw him die, like remember he was in the bed and he died. Supposedly his head was going to be kept in like a box and frozen, and they were going to like
Disney.
Yeah, and then cure him and then make him the new Green Goblin and make him more interesting and stuff like that. So I think that actually would have been a bit better than what we got with Harry.
Mm-hmm. X-Men Apocalypse. I'll disagree. I kind of like this one, but I can definitely see why it was not everyone's favorite.
I was like,
It was kind of fun. It was fun. I didn't really follow X-Men too much for the plot, but it was kind of exciting sometimes.
Yeah. Batman Forever. Oh boy. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of Jim Carrey as the Riddler because here's why. The Riddler's not Jim Carrey. I could see Jim Carrey playing the Joker. That I could see.
Jim Carrey plays himself in every movie. Almost every movie he's in.
That's true.
Also, I hated Two-Face in this movie. Hated him. Again, they basically made them Joker. Harvey Dent is not supposed to be like this.
Okay.
All right. Here's a non-Marvel or DC character, Hancock. Another black Superman.
Didn't see it. I don't like Will Smith as an actor, really. I liked him in I, Robot,
really?
and that was like the last one I saw him in that I really enjoyed him in.
It was weird. It was hard. It turns out, so in the movie, I'm just going to spoil it because it's like 2008. So
I haven't seen it.
It turns out he's like an alien that can't. It turns out he has no memory of who he is, but then it turns out he's an alien, and all that's basically like Superman. If Superman had amnesia, and I think my camera froze.
No, it froze. But I mean,
you're just incredibly still, like Drax.
Yeah. Blade 1.
That is a lot. These people have chronic, terrible taste. Blade 1 is great. Blade 1 is a cinematic tour de force. I mean, it's fun. It's not great. It's fun. I mean, what other movie could you have like pounding club music in the background as Blade, and literally fire sprinklers turn on, it's all blood, and he kills an entire club full of vampires? I'm like, that's amazing. Yes. All right, and Wesley Snipes, my man. All right, come on. All right, you want to have a really great African-American superhero come back and make a comeback for the modern age and not preach to people and just make a good movie? Make Blade. Make him and Hellrider team up to go kill some people, and like really violent and gory, and like you could have like not like silly, but you could have like Blade and Hellrider. Bring back Nicolas Cage as Hellrider. Just lean into it. Just he could be like not the comic.
He's dressed as Superman,
or just something like that. It'd just be fun. It would.
By the way,
fun.
When Black Panther was coming out, and they were like, it's the first black superhero movie, and I was like, no, it isn't. Blade.
Have you seen Blade? Like, yeah.
Okay, I agree with this one. This is definitely on the list. I agree with this one. And this list was formulated before the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
Fantastic Four 2. It was okay. It wasn't the best. Well, then again, we've never had a really good Fantastic Four movie. Let's face it.
Yeah, that's true. No, I'll give you that one. Totally.
A quick thing, lad. In case if the Zoom call all of a sudden ends, stay tight. I will send the link because right now I can't see how much time is left. So I just want to say that. All right, lad, go ahead.
Got it. I will say that as a kid, I never actually watched the movie because I was pretty young still. But I remember seeing the trailers for it and just seeing Silver Surfer in the different commercials. I thought that was so cool. It looked so interesting and weird and scary, like unhuman, but still, he's a human figure. So it was so like weird and mysterious. I will say it really grabbed my attention as a kid back in the day.
Oh, never mind. I just got a message from Zoom saying, as a gift, we removed the time limit. So,
what?
All right. Thank you. I'll take it.
Thank you, electronic overlords.
Yeah.
Electronic overlords. Okay, so I'm trying to get my screen to share again. Excuse our technical difficulties, folks. Okay, now we're back to it. All right. So, Fantastic Four. But yeah, see, well, let me put it this way. Compared to Fan Four Stick, this movie is an Avengers Endgame level masterpiece. Fan Four Stick was the biggest insult to Fantastic Four fans of all time.
Hmm.
Maybe even of Marvel fans. Ninja Turtles 2.
Hey,
I haven't seen this one in years, so I can't really comment on this one.
Who
Mitch, you got
doesn't-
everything?
who doesn't like the Vanilla Ice concert that that's in this one, right? Or is that the first one when they jump into the Vanilla Ice concert and start fighting while he's singing?
I don't know.
Haven't seen any of them. So
I've seen it. I saw this one, but it was years and years and years ago. All right, there you go. I'm back. All right. Superman 3. I haven't seen this one in years, but I remember, yeah, it was kind of they tried to put too much humor in this, I remember, because this guy in the movie, he's actually a comedian.
Oh,
So I can see what they kind of did there. I get Batman v Superman. Once again, watch the Ultimate Edition.
hmm.
Watch the Ultimate
Okay.
Edition. It explains everything. Basically, this is a movie version of Dark Knight Returns, the live action one. Which, by the way, I recently finished reading that for the first time. Exemplary work, Frank Miller. Exemplary. All right, the second time they screwed up the Phoenix Saga. Jeez.
well, like I said earlier, at least they're consistent.
At least they're exactly. I'll take the consistency. I'll take it. All right, I got it. It's just like, so I liked. So let me put it this way: I liked First Class. I liked how they wanted to youngify everyone. Here's my issue among many. In this movie, so it's taking place in like the 90s or so. I'm like, wait a second. These characters should be much older. Why are they still young?
Hmm.
I don't get this.
It's okay.
Yeah, I know.
It's okay.
It's because of the X gene.
It's you literally don't think about it.
Yeah, if you don't think about it. I like the alien thing where like the aliens come and they want the Phoenix Force. I like that part, but it wasn't that good. Plus, she was just really low energy as Jean Grey. I wasn't a big fan. I liked the Jean Grey they had in the original X-Men movies. She was fine, even though her role was, even though her basically her movie X-Men 3 was not good.
Okay.
Any opinions?
No, yeah.
I didn't say it.
All
Me
right.
neither.
Yeah.
Daredevil. This is the reason why I was nervous when they announced Ben Affleck as Batman.
I didn't hate this. Okay,
Really?
I have a story about this.
All right.
I
go
saw
ahead.
this with my father, and my father was a big Daredevil fan. And in one point in the movie, Deadeye, I think he's supposed to be Catholic, and he makes an insult to one of the people in the bar about them being like a Protestant. And when we saw it in theaters, and he points out, like, whenever I've mentioned the movie to him on and off, whenever I talk to him, to this day, he points out how on the DVD they edited it so he doesn't make a comment about the guy's religion because I think he's Irish in the movie or something. He is
Oh, yeah.
one
And by the
way.
His name is Bullseye. Not
Bullseye.
Deadshot.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
That's
Anyway.
the DC version of it.
My bad. Again, yeah. But you get what I'm saying? Like, he makes a comment about somebody's religion, and then they edit it out for the DVD. And like, it was one of the first times I like noticed that like the studios will change something after it's come out for the DVD. And as like a younger person, I had no idea that was a thing they would do. Like, why would you edit a movie? Like, like it's just a movie. It's done.
Yeah.
I do that. And it was just something so minor like that. But it was the first time I like thought critically about after like airing like the edits that a studio might do for its markets, like where it is and what they might change. And it's like, why is certain things about Doctor Strange? Why are they the way they are? Markets.
I will say though, I have a story too. I'm watching this movie. This was my first exposure to Evanescence. They're gearing up and it's playing Bring Me to Life, and I was like, "This is awesome."
I remember the early 2000s and AMVs with Evanescence. I remember those days.
All right, Supergirl. I did not see this movie.
Can't comment. Didn't
This
see
looks
it.
terrible.
Nope.
Kick-Ass did not see this movie.
I did see that. It was not terrible. It wasn't good, but it's like, hey, let's take the same. They're trying to get the audience that like Scott Pilgrim versus the World to like superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
Just think of the most obnoxious people like Scott Pilgrim, and then make a superhero movie designed for them, and that's
true.
Kick-Ass.
Fantastic Four 1. I like this one.
I don't even remember it. Again, it's much like Thor 2. I saw it. It was inoffensive, but I don't remember a thing about it. But hey, I made some money.
What do
so
you think, lad?
I think I only saw parts of it. I thought it was, as a kid, I thought it was kind of fun, but I don't know if I watched it now, I would like it as much.
Theatrical Suicide Squad. I have to say theatrical because apparently David Ayer has gone on the record and saying that his movie, which by the way would be cheaper to release, is way better. It takes away all the BS music, keeps a lot of it, and has more Joker in it. And apparently Steppenwolf shows up, and I'm like, show me that. Oh, here's the big one. Here's the big one. X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yes.
This crapshoot.
I saw that in the theaters. It was not good.
Let me be clear. I liked the Sabretooth actor, and obviously I liked Hugh Jackman. But, and then I liked Deadpool when he spoke. I was like, that's Deadpool. And then they shut him up, and they made a joke about in Deadpool 2 where Deadpool goes back in time and just shoots him.
See, as a kid, I didn't get that because I saw this when I must have been like middle school again. And 2009, I was like in middle school. And I didn't get it as a little kid. So like me and my old man, because my old man loves Wolverine. So we went and saw it in theaters. And I'm like, who's this Deadpool guy? He's kind of annoying. And I didn't realize that the whole gimmick was the mouthy, the talking, like the references. So I'm like, this is the final boss? Like he's gonna like kill this dude with like blade arms and lasers and like what is this? What is this? This is kind of weird. But the game was good at least. We got a really good game.
Badass. And they explain it like they explain his name. Oh yeah, we just put a bunch of powers in this one guy. Okay. I didn't see barbed wire. So
I've never even heard of barbed wire.
Green Lantern.
It's infamous, so I didn't see it.
It wasn't bad. I mean, let me put it this way. It was moderately enjoyable, but for a Green Lantern movie, I mean, the suit was terrible. Apparently, let me put it this way. The Snyder Green Lantern was way better. I'm just going to say whenever anything's bad, the Snyder version's better. All right. Green Hornet. I recently watched this one. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
It looked okay. I don't like Seth Rogen. I think that's him. But it seemed okay.
Blade Trinity.
Where Ryan Reynolds, one of his first real, younger one of his like side character roles before he got big. So
do you disagree with this one, Mitch?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. Again, when I watch superhero movies, I mean, sometimes if I know it's going to be good, I'm going to be excited for it. If I know it's going to be actiony, I lower my expectations. And I'm just like, it's actiony. Okay, I take onus with the Shadow movie.
Oh, really?
It's good. It's not great, but it's good. And
what's it about? I never saw it.
Okay, the Shadow is from pulps. Pulps are, before comics, you had pulps, which are like 150-page mini novels that they were pulped after you read them because they were cheap, and you just pulped them, and it was during like World War II, I think. That was a whole genre of fiction. And then you had the Shadow radio show, which was like every night people would listen to The Shadow Knows. Okay, Batman comes from the Shadow. If you look at the character things, Batman is the Shadow, but he doesn't kill people. The Shadow has no problem killing people. The Shadow is a rich industrialist that has 2 pistols, and he's like very much like a waspy, like, if you commit crime, I'm going to kill you, or I'm going to recruit you to work for me and be like one of my agents. The Shadow knows. And he literally goes around. He has 2, I want to say 1911s.
Yes.
Bang, 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 just kills the crap out of
So he's
people.
pretty much a mix of Batman and Red Hood.
But the thing is, he's before all of them. He came out
in the
early 90s. So Batman and the Red Hood both come from him. And they end up meeting in a comic book. Yeah, you can look at the similarities. So the movie, debatable quality. It's Alec Baldwin. It's not bad. It's not good either. but it's fine. If you want to see where Batman comes from, look up the Shadow radio plays and the books, because Jared, you will enjoy them.
I'll check it out. This I wholly disagree with. Venom was awesome.
Okay.
Venom was awesome. Okay, I know Lad didn't see it because he thought it was scary. What about you, Mitch? Did you see it?
I didn't see it. I like Tom Hardy as an actor.
He was good as Venom. He was good as Eddie Brock.
I'll have to check it out. I'll eventually get around to watching it. I mean, I'm hoping if they make a sequel to have Carnage, because I like Carnage as a character.
They are.
Oh, good. Then I'll have to go back and watch things. So
on Carnage. It's actually legitimately that.
Dang, I'm good.
Let there be carnage. Okay, this movie.
CG was bad.
Yeah, CG was crap.
But it's Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage, man.
Okay, if they remade this now, after you've seen Nicolas Cage and listen, if you've seen him in Mandy, and I need to get around to watching it, but Mandy's like this dark art film, very much Ghost Rider without being Ghost Rider. Remake it now, better CG. You could even make a lower budget. Just make when he's Ghost Rider really, really artsy and esoteric kind of. You could really nail Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider now. I think they just didn't know what to do with the character at the time. They do that again now. Nicolas Cage is a great actor. You just have to know how to use him.
And he would be a great old man Ghost Rider, eh, Mitch?
Oh yeah, he could chew the scenery as Ghost Rider. He'd burn the scenery. It's Nicolas Cage. The guy can do anything.
Ghost Rider 2.
Okay, no, that was bad. That was legitimately bad.
I was like, oh god.
I'll give him that one. That one's legitimately bad. I've seen it.
I was like, I hated where he's turning into Ghost Rider, and all of a sudden it gets weird with the camera tricks. And I'm like, what the hell is going on with this?
I understand you didn't want to pay off for the CG, but
Spawn. I haven't seen Spawn. I plan on watching it.
It's not bad. I liked it, and I like Spawn as a character, and I like McFarlane and everything that he does. So I can't hate. I don't think I can. Hey, you want a black superhero, or excuse me, African American superhero to bring back?
Hey, there you go.
I didn't even know he was until later. It's like, it's African American cop. I'm like, cool. I don't care. He's just awesome.
He's an awesome character. Yeah, I really don't care.
And there's so many versions of him too. You've got Samurai Spawn and all these different things that McFarlane's done with Spawn. Seriously, guys,
what's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mitch.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
All right. So I played Mortal Kombat, I think 11, and he's a character in it. And then his intro animation is pretty much Batman.
Huh.
He's on a gargoyle, the lightning illuminates him, and then he jumps down. And I'm like, okay, Bats.
Mm-hmm.
Elektra, I did not see this.
I think I saw it. I don't remember it at all.
Me neither.
I believe it's spin-off of the
Daredevil,
movie.
So it's pretty much a sequel to Daredevil?
Kind of, yeah.
As if that movie needed a sequel.
Hmm.
They made her a lot better in the Daredevil TV show.
Yeah, that was good.
The Daredevil TV show was perfect.
Their homage to Oldboy and his hallway fight scene.
Oh yes.
Bless. It was
apparently anytime you put a superhero and or any other fictional character in a hallway and put a fight scene, it's gonna be cool.
Well, it's gonna be Oldboy, which is a fantastic Korean crime drama / action movie. I recommend. Just as
Punisher. Disagree. Wholly disagree. This was
Punisher Warzone. Punisher Warzone, even better. This is good. That. Warzone. It's take this, take out a lot of the emotions, and add more violence. And as it's great. Please watch it. Watch it.
I'll check it out. But yes, I wholly disagree. This was a fantastic movie. In fact, here's a story, and I think I've told Lad this. So I'm watching I'm getting ready to watch this, and my mom's like, "Oh, you're watching Punisher? I love that movie." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" She's like, "Oh yeah, I love the Punisher." She saw this movie in theaters with my sister, and they didn't even know it was a Marvel movie.
That's funny.
By the way, another one with a TV show, as good as this movie was way better.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Jonah Hex. I saw this. Wasn't that bad, but it wasn't my favorite.
I like Jonah Hex as a character. I think they can do him way better, more justice than that. Mm-hmm. Same with Solomon Kane. Same with a lot of those Black Powder superheroes.
Hellboy.
Wait, Hellboy's a Marvel character?
No, This is just superheroes,
Oh, okay, got it.
which is why Kick-Ass was on this list.
I didn't
But-
see this one.
I saw the Golden Army one, and
That
it
was
okay.
that's Guillermo del Toro. This was the not Ron Perlman Hellboy. This was the 2019 one, which had great monster designs.
Mhm.
Like their big bad, the bad girl guy, I think it was a queen or something. Her summoned creatures when they show them in the trailers, really great. Looks like they're straight out of Magic the Gathering card. Very esoteric, kind of like the empty-faced creature things. Really cool. The rest of the movie, dumpster fire.
Mhm.
I agree it's bad, but some of it was at least like, I want to hire your artist.
Yeah, all I know is that I very much enjoyed the Ron Perlman movies that I did see.
That
of
was
Hellboy.
that was those were good. They're especially the original one was really.
I
good.
like this one. Vlad.
Didn't see it.
Oh, I thought it was that, you know what? This one, I
liked it.
I know what people say about it, but it actually took the TMNT and made it less like campy and made it almost like it could have happened in real life. A little bit serious, but it still had funny moments. They still managed to squeeze in a fart joke or two, but
Okay.
it's still
It's the Ninja Turtles. They have to do that.
right. But for the most part, it actually had some cool like lore in it, science and fight scenes. It made it. It was definitely, I think, the best looking, most realistic of the TMNT movies. You know, I'll give it credit. This was actually a good.
Mhm.
This was a good TMNT movie. Not like a good like
Movie,
ranked up there
yeah.
with the best movies, but it was actually. If you like TMNT, you would
It
definitely
wasn't
really
bad.
enjoy this.
Speaking of Kevin Eastman, by the way, I have a variant cover for Dark Knight 3: The Master Race signed by him.
Oh, nice.
Very cool.
I got that from Tate's, the greatest comic book shop of all time. And this is not an endorsement. All right, next, Judge Dredd. There you go. This
Yeah.
is another one. Of
I
those. There
am
you
done
go.
law. It's like, no, you're not. Still, no, you're not. Stick to Rocky and Rambo.
Yeah, the more modern one. I saw the modern one. The modern one was badass.
Mhm.
The one with
Yeah,
Carl
it was.
Urban.
Yeah, it was great. Stallone again, great universe. They nailed the style in Stallone's movie. I'll give him credit. That nailed the more weird aspects of Mega City 1 and like a lot of the weirdness that goes on in a long-running comic book. But everything else around the character and Stallone and his acting ability, air quotes, not great. Not great.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I saw
like
this years
this.
and years and years
I
ago.
liked that movie. I remember liking it, and I love their car. They're like six-wheeled, giant stretch, like Victorian car. Awesome.
Mhm.
Very cool.
I didn't see the Spirit.
I saw it. It was good. It wasn't great. It was good.
Really?
It was okay. It was inoffensive. Again. Oh, Punisher Warzone. Do take that back. That's fun.
I'll watch it. I still have to watch this.
It was violent
Steel.
and great. I never
Shaq
saw
Steel.
that.
Yeah, this looks terrible. Apparently, from what I've heard, I haven't seen this. They didn't. Basically, he's Steel in name only. It's not. They didn't like faithfully recreate the character.
Just Steel. Gotcha. Okay.
Yep, I agree with this one.
I was forced to sit through this at one point, and I didn't kill myself, so I'd like to
I
piece
agree
of
with
metal
the
for
bat
that.
nips. I agree with the bat nips and the bat credit card. Lad. You'll
Oh,
like
yeah.
this one.
Nice.
You'll like this one. Oh yeah, this should be number one on the list.
Didn't
Most
see it.
boring
Could.
Fantastic Four movie of all time.
You can't make me see it.
Yeah, me either. Oh boy, we're getting into some crap here.
Oh,
This is
boy.
Lad's favorite movie.
No, I've never actually seen it. I just joke
Me neither.
because Jared talks about how horrible it is. So I just joke it. It's like my favorite movie.
Hey, Halle Berry's
It's not even
really
fi-
just.
It's not even Selena Kyle.
I'm not even
Like,
mad
what?
though. I can see Halle Berry in like a gimp suit. I'm not about to complain. I'm not about to complain.
All right, Zoom. This movie was kind of odd.
Never even like heard of it.
So basically, he's like a superhero, and then he has to train these kids to be superheroes. But it's weird.
So like Sky High, but worse.
Yeah, exactly. They tried to make a Sky High, which I like Sky High. I thought that was good.
Okay. Yes, it has
Oh
been.
boy. Oh boy, here's number one, The Quest for Peace. The one where he puts the world's nukes in a giant net and throws it into the sun, because that's not going to have scientific implications for the sun. You're throwing the world's nukes in a star. What do you think is going to happen?
Who just pushed the Earth out of the way, man? Come on.
All right. I have another list.
Oh, God. All right, we did Thor.
We did Green Lantern. We did
Okay,
Suicide Squad, we
okay.
did Dark Phoenix. A lot of these we did.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. There's only so many movies. Like, yeah.
Like
Spawn. Okay, fantastic.
New Mutants. I did not see New Mutants yet.
I know how much production trouble they had behind the scenes, so I know that that was never going to be good.
Is that why it took like 10 years to come out?
Yeah, they had it was an action movie, then it was a horror movie, then they had production issues. So yeah, that movie is not going to be good just by how much trouble they had making it. Yeah. So
how long exactly did it take to come out?
A long time. They announced that like 2015, 16, I think. Just like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like because I heard about it at that point, and then I forgot about it, and all of a sudden it's coming out now, and I was like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah, we don't talk about no. We'll not even dignify that with a response.
I watched this recently, but I got a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes. From a visual standpoint, it's pretty cool, but for the story, it deserves the 0%.
That bad?
Yo, oh yeah, oh yes.
All right.
Have you ever seen Max Steel, lad?
No, I haven't.
Oh, this is the like. Oh, okay.
It's a movie based on toys.
Yeah, it's like the Walmart generic action figure of like Hero, and they finally made a movie for their generic hero.
It's just really bad. So anyway, those are some of our least favorite movies, and what other people have said. Some of them we strongly disagree with. Like, I love The Punisher.
I really like Punisher Warzone.
I get the feeling that the critics don't like a superhero that uses guns.
I don't know why you'd say that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but geez. Yeah, I like The Punisher. Again, I like the Hellboy Ron Perlman. That one just looked, it looked okay from the trailers, but apparently it's bad. But anyway, so there's that. So I think next time the three of us are on, we'll do one on like the best superhero movies. Just that way we can have a nice little contrast.
All right.
But anyway, all right. So that's the end of this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed our rants. Apologies if the rants got a little too heated.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed all of Lad's hot takes, like him liking Hulk and Black Widow. This is the guy who thinks Batman and Wonder Woman make sense.
I don't. Hey, you take that back. That's not a bad idea.
Are you kidding me? Compared to Wonder Woman and Superman.
Oh, cry me a river.
How does Batman and Wonder Woman make sense?
We don't have enough. Hey, you want me to write a dissertation for you? I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yes,
Oh,
please.
boy.
I need
There are two of you now. No.
that.
All right. What I'll do is I will find another one of my friends who prefers Superman and Wonder Woman together. Then we'll have a debate. We will do a full-on debate episode.
Okay.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. Actually, we should be having more comic book debates.
Mitch, you're the writing type of person, right? Like you're good with writing. And
I'd like to think so many papers I've written. I'd like to think so.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna need some backup because.
Yeah, I got you, man. I got you,
man.
man.
I'll bring the numbers. You do the writing on the political sway and stuff.
At least, here's the thing. At least, guess what? Superman and Wonder Woman is the only thing that's happened main continuity. And in fact, DC said, do Batman.
Yeah, but like
going to happen.
Yeah, but like Amazons are awesome. All right, I'm just saying.
I'm not disputing that part.
Batman and Amazon, come on. Money, power. Anyways.
It makes her look shallow because
please get out of here. Forget about it.
All right, we'll save it for our actual debate.
Oh man.
All right, guys. Good episode, even though I just found out a reason that makes me doubt your sanity.
Sanity is for the weak.
Lad, Mitch, always a pleasure. Stay heroic, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.